Hello. I'm doing this because people need to be reminded during those hard times that we do have so much to be grateful for. I am very grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for the huge family that we have become a part of all over with our friends, close friends. You could be close friends and be miles and miles apart. You know, that's what we're here for, is to stand with each other, be by each other's side, and work as a team. You know, it is devastating and hard for people that are being affected by this. And my prayers are with them and their families. And what's our part is to step up and to help them as well. This whole thing has gotten so out of control and puts so many people on frightening lines that it is petrifying people. That's not that's not what this is about. This is about us uniting. This is about us becoming a team and being there and stepping up for one another, you know? Sorry, I think my cousin's out there watching a movie and stuff, so I do it back here. But the point of the matter is that I am beyond grateful for so much. We have a test right now for ourselves and for each other. The test is basically, are you going to be there for each other and stand up and listen to the truth and what we're trying to tell you? We're not in this for vengeance. We're not in this for what we stand for. We're not in this for payback. We're not in this for anger. We're in this to stand up for our children. We're in this together to stand up for our families and for so many people have been injured and been destroyed by this so-called the best interest for our children system that we have for it. It's been proven over and over and again. And sadly, so many people's lives have been lost because of what's going on. Okay? This is a devastating thing that's going on that's worse than this virus that's happening now. Everyone's standing up to fight this virus that's happening and close everything down for everyone's safety. What about the safety for our kids that we've been fighting for decades? Why is nothing being done for that? Explain that to me, please. We have written emails. We have been there face to face at the Capitol in Montana. We have politely been standing our ground, making it obvious to everyone of what's happening to our children. I am seeing families, mothers, fall apart right in front of me. You'd be seriously surprised of how hard it is to fight back the tears. It really is. One example is a dear friend, Katie. I love you, girl. She came back last week for one night. And I have not heard from her in over a year because of what CPS has did to her family. And she was sleeping on my couch. I let her take a shower and to relax and pull herself together. And she was paranoid. She was petrified. She was... Anxiety and fear runs her life now. When she fell asleep, it was saddening. It was heartbreaking to watch her sleep and having continuous ongoing nightmares of saying, no, they can't do that. I gotta go. I gotta read. The things that she was saying was devastating. And it was really heartbreaking. And she lives like this. She has no one there for her. We're here for her. And she knows that. But she's living in the fear life of what she's come accustomed to. And that's not the way it should be. Oh, thank you, John. I'm doing all I can to make the truth be heard. I'm not a person that stands up for lies, for fear, for anxiety, for things that's happening that's to us to make people this way. You know, a lot of the lies and stuff like that CPS puts on paperwork and that the courts agree to and allow to happen, they're setting people up to fall into that category. they're assuming what they're going to do, parents are going to do after they take their children illegally. And I see it time after time after time again with multiple families. It's heartbreaking. It seriously is. And the worst part is the fact that these people that have control over our children, if they take them, don't have kids. Explain to me how that is okay, and what gives them the right to make a decision for children that they have no experience with. Please, I would love to hear feedback on that one. That makes no sense to me at all. Yeah, it is sad, Michelle. My God, I'm gonna write out a paper for each one of the stories I know, and I'm not gonna tell names, but I'm gonna give a basic outline of each story of what's happening to different families. They are setting these families up intentionally, and the ones that are getting hurt the worst are our children. Our children are the ones being lied to, being manipulated, being conned into believing something that's not real. But after they manipulate a child's mind, it becomes a reality to everybody else because the child's saying it, so the truth is gone. You know? Yeah, God has all of us in his hands, but the only ones that are going to realize it are the ones that are opening their mind beyond what's right in front of them. What we have right now is material. Okay? It's going to be gone. It can be gone tomorrow from all we know. But what we do have is we have our hearts. We have our souls. We have each other. We should have you on our new services. Oh, cool. Thanks. I love you. I used to be feared. I used to be scared. I used to huddle behind the corner being scared of what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do, because it was new to me. Just like the rest of the parents out there are huddled because they're scared. They have their life taken from them and they're scared. They're petrified. So they don't know what to do. They don't know what directions to go. They become so mentally tormented in the mind of confusion that they don't know what reality is anymore. You know, it's why so many that have this perfect lives in their eyes, that they look down upon ones that are making the lies truth and won't listen to them. How are you going to know the truth unless you actually listen to the one that came from originally who's being accused of something? I mean, how is that going to be truth to anybody if you just listen to one side? You know? Lindsay is speaking up like crazy. You go, girl. I love you. You were keeping voice going. She's making it obvious. She's been set up multiple times on her case. And her child in the one of the videos, if you go back to her Facebook or to YouTube, you'll see the videos. That little girl is being tormented. She is screaming in fear and petrified. She's being convinced that her mother is intentionally leaving her there. So that right now, they're at the point right now of the mind's in the process of being manipulated to something else. That child needs to be back with her mother. Her older 16-year-old has already been mostly lost because she was part of the beginning. Other cases, I'll leave names out, but our children are being destroyed. We the people need to step up with the people, need to protect these children and all the children. Yes, we do. We need to stand together, unite. You know, it's not about hate. It's the people that are doing the right thing are not doing it for hate. They're not doing it for anger. They're not doing it for selfishness reasons. They're doing this because they want the best for our future. That's who needs to be in charge, is people that want the best for our future. Debbie, she's going up for one of the roles up there, and she would make the awesomest person up there. She's been through it. She's seen it, and she would make the right decisions and right choices for people, for families. Okay, Debbie Westlake, you got my vote, girl. You ride them, all right? We need to unite as a team. Okay? I would love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear your points of view. Or if you want to do a live video with us, let me know. Later on today, we're going to do a live video with a gentleman who is a military vet. And we did a live video with her, his wife, yesterday, Allie. She is so heartbroken. She fought for our country. And yet, her children were wrongfully taken from her. And her husband. And her husband's falsely accused of things. And he's being rejected to reach out for help at the VA. Okay? He reached out to the VA for help to get over himself for the military shit he's been through. And he was rejected there because of the CPS lies that pretty much destroyed his future for his family. I mean, how is that doing anything for the ones standing up for us? Nothing. I mean, it's devastating. If you're a military vet watching this, or a military guy watching this or something, you have some information to help out this family, please reach out, let us know. Because I work with this lady, and she is the most kind-hearted, openly loving woman there is around. And yet, her daughters are being destroyed behind her because they're pulled from her and her husband. It's not okay. A government that has been involved in child sex trafficking, sacrificing, and pedophilia thinks that they can take care of your children better than you. Yeah, they do. And it's bullshit. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Oh, what's even better is that the same CPS worker who's pretty much in charge of all the cases in Helena, Montana, it seems to be, is Mary Fortune Blair. And yet she is like a doll to the CPS case. You pull her string and she'll say the same thing every time. Wow. I was at a meeting, okay, with Lindsay's case. They're doing a pre-adoption meeting. I was there. The entire time we were there, I was stating the fact that we have the evidence, the factual evidence stating that it was all set up. The drug testing shit, yeah, she has false positives, and she has to pay out of pocket every time to get a hair sample to prove them wrong, or a blood test. And each one she has proven wrong. They just did another one, and we had paper, the actual legal paperwork that states that it was a false positive, and we sat right in front of Mary and Laura McCollin. We sat right in front of both of them. I said, do you not see this? It's factual evidence right in front of you that states that this is all being done wrong and illegally. The only thing Mary said the entire time we were there, we still have kids because of negative drug tests, because she's still using drugs. And the entire time I was repeating myself, with the evidence right in front of her saying it was false positive. And the lady in charge of the adoption thing even stated on a piece of paper that they signed, Larry and Laura both stated this and signed on this, that the mother was falsely incarcerated. We have that paperwork, okay? And they signed that paperwork that states that. We did not sign it. Me and Lindsay did not sign it. But does that not explain enough that it is all set up? And the lady that was sitting straight across from me in that room, I was looking at her for about 15 minutes straight. And she was looking at me, but she was not looking at me. You know when you look at somebody and you could see right through them, like there was a dead stare? That's what it was. And before they called out for adoption or not, she was already stating adoption before even the question was stated. And the other two people that are in charge of adoption for our kids in this area is an older gentleman that's like he's 73 or something, can barely even think for himself. And the other lady can barely talk, and she's about the same age. Those are the only three people we have in charge of adopting children here in Lewis and Clark County, Montana. Explain to me how that is okay. And the signatures will validate this. No heart. Yeah, they don't have a heart because they stare right through you. They look through you like you don't exist. To them, children are adopting puppies out. And you stand up, people stand up for the dog shelter places more than they stand up for our kids who are going through the same thing. But yet, they're getting the worst end of it. How is that okay? There is no justice. We the people need to bring the justice. Yep, amen. And did you see the thing that just posted today in the news? They stated that they wanted to make the Constitution not valid during this time. I'm like, are you serious? You already made that not valid when you start taking our kids illegally. There is no due process. Due process is when they have multiple people that lie on stage and lie after lie after lie, and they have one person in there, the mother only, and kick everyone out that's there standing up for the mother. And the only people in that room are CPS workers being trained, the judge already had a prior talking to CPS workers on what the plan is ahead of time, and Rodney Garcia was there with Sammy's case. He can validate this because he saw it as well. So we've been continuously reaching out for him to step up and help out this family, but If you go to my Facebook, you'll see pictures of that poor child. That boy has got scratch marks all around his forehead at 8 months old, and he's been in foster care system since he was born. Okay? This poor child has no feeling. I mean, when we had the baby in the beginning, he was full of love, he was full of smiles, he was full of laughter. And now, after 6 months of being apart, and she went to see her son, that child has bruises, has got a huge bruise right here, scratches all around the forehead, a lump right here, a bruise right here. That child is being abused in the foster care system that he was placed in intentionally without giving the mother a chance to be a mother. Okay? I will post those pictures right after I post this video, or I'll put them in the comments actually, so you guys can see them. But it's disgusting of what they're doing to our children. And yet they're pointing the finger at us like we're the bad people, and yet it's proven right in front of everybody that it's not. It's them. Some kids, yes, don't get me wrong. Some kids are placed in the right place and they get along with families and what have you, and everything's done right. But that does not happen very often. Okay? It's disgusting of what they're doing to our kids. And luckily, some of the friends that we have lost along the way, not lost, but have drifted apart because of what they're going through, are slowly coming back and starting to realize that this is truth. I mean, this is reality. If you want more information, just let me know, give me comments, and I will gladly bring it on. I was saying probably this evening sometime, I'm not sure a time, but then we'll talk to the father, the military vet, of what's happening on his side. So my prayers are with you. Lord, please watch over everybody during this crisis. Bring your children closer together. Love and glory. We need your help, healing. We need your blessing right now. Watch over your children, Lord, and guide them back to you into peace and love and serenity. We need that. Lord, amen. So I'll talk to you guys later and give me a little feedback on what you want to have more such talks about, and we'll talk to you later.